one of our dear ladies from our church that reads or watches, I should say, the Thought for Today all of the time, made a brilliant statement to me. These things are kind of intermingled, aren't they? The depression and the discouragement, the anxiety, they all go hand in hand. And I was like, yep, you're getting it. That's exactly right. So this story kind of goes along with fear and worry both. Years ago, when we were a different name of ministry, and I was sending out the newsletters, and I had a man that I had a great amount of respect for. And so it concerned me. I shouldn't do that, but it concerned me what he thought, because I had a lot of respect for him. And we had just sent out the new month's newsletter, and he called me on the phone and he said, Mike, I want you to come over. I need to talk to you about this month's newsletter. And so we set an appointment for the next day, and all night long I rolled and tossed and thought, and what is it that I said that he could have disagreed with, and how will I respond to what I said that he disagrees with, and how am I going to deal with this? And so I tossed and turned. My sleep wasn't sweet because I was concerned. It was all puffed up in my mind that this was just going to be a terrible meeting. I walked into his house. He took me into his office. We sat down. He said, Mike, I want to tell you I agreed with every single word that you said in the newsletter. I thought to myself, wow, I just spent all night long worrying about something, fearing about something that wasn't real. Allowing that to take such a huge thing in my life. I quoted this earlier in the writing, but Psalm 53:5, there were they in great fear where no fear was. It goes on to say, I didn't read that earlier, it goes on to say, for God hath scattered the bones of him that encampeth against thee. They had fear where there was no reason to fear, because God had already delivered the battle into their hands. God had already given them victory. He had scattered the bones of the ones that had encamped against them. God said to Gideon, if you're fearful, go down into the camp of the Midianites. And the Midianites was having dreams. They were already in torment of what Gideon was going to do to them. They had thousands of warriors, and Gideon had 300. But God had already scattered the enemy. The enemy was defeated. Genesis 15:1. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision, saying, fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. Notice that the word of the Lord came unto Abram, and what did God, the Lord, say to him? Fear not. What did Jesus say to the disciples as he walked to them on the water? Do not be afraid. It's in there 365 times. Don't be afraid. Many times Jesus said, fear not. It is not God's will for you to be fearful in any circumstances that you are in. And that's why I wanted to quote all of these verses. I lost track of time, sorry. We'll pick up next time.